Hi everyone, it's Dave, your Bayou boy. I hope everyone's having an amazing day. It's been a long weekend. I had a lot of issues getting recording done. For some reason, my computer decided to be a complete and total bitch and delete a crap ton of footage. So last night, a group of my friends and I, we were playing some GTA 5, trying to do the heist setup on the island. And, it was a lot of fun because I epically fail like hell playing most first-person shooter games, and so a lot of the times I just kind of drag my ass along. So most of you are like, well, David, I really didn't come here for the gameplay. I came here for the story. So if you enjoy it, great. If you don't, well, don't worry. Dead by Daylight is coming back pretty soon, but don't worry about that. We'll get to that later. But today is an interesting day, because we're going to actually have to go back in time. I know that y'all enjoyed the Dispatcher Tales, but we need to go a little bit further, because we need to set up this story. And it actually happened during my EMT days, where I was a medic. And it's the story of Tanya and her Brosband Bobby. Now, Tanya's going to come up a lot, and we're going to do a whole series on Tanya. Don't worry about your girl, okay? We're going to do a whole series on her, because there are stories in Dispatch for days dealing with her. But what you need to understand about Tanya was a meth head, crackhead, and a drunk. And she was in a relationship with her brother, Bobby. Now, when I say in a relationship, we talking about they knocking boots, okay? They're getting it on, okay? And they love each other, but they like... I'm not saying, oh no, stepbro, what are you doing, stepbro? We're not talking about that type of brother. We're talking about Cersei and Jaime Lannister relationship, okay? Alright? That's what we're talking about, okay? And Bobby was a drunk. I mean, just blackout, blistered ass drunk. And this family has been in the area since way back. It is so far back, they got a street named after them. So literally, it's their last name road. Okay? So we all knew about this shit. We all knew that if you ran a call for one of them, it was about to get down. It was bad. So if you don't know anything about meth heads and crackheads and most really heavy drug users that are not what I like to call high-functioning drug users, you see people at work, you see people out in society, and they are literally users, right? They're users, but they're high-functioning users. They take care of themselves, they do a normal job, everything is a golden, right? But with these folks, it's not like that at all. They are shag nasty. They are just horrible smelling. They don't take care of themselves. They literally exist between themselves and the drug on a daily basis. Tanya and her brother were like this, okay? So we get a call, and I'm working on the west side of the county that I'm working at, and it's the middle of the night, so, we were trying to chill, kick it back. We were on a 24-hour ambulance, which means I'm working from, 8 o'clock in the morning to 8 o'clock in the morning the next day. So it wasn't a bad night by any means. We weren't rocked out of our boots, running traffic every 5 minutes. No, not in the least. It was a pretty chill night, which I appreciated because I was a really new medic. first, let's explain that. I am the rookie, which means every shit job in the universe is instantly assigned to me. And we all knew that. You've heard of the FNG, right? You're the fucking new guy. So you're going to deal with all the bullshit that the higher ranking, the more experienced guys throw your way. And I was cool with that. It didn't bother me one bit. Pager tones go off, and they give the address, and I had heard stories from the other medics about this address. And I'm looking at my senior, who I'm just, I'm riding in the ambulance with. I mean, he's driving and I'm attending. And that means that when we transport someone to the hospital, I'm in the back with the patient doing patient care while he's driving. Unless we're doing major problems, and then that individual is in the back with me, and we get a fireman or a member of the rescue squad to drive us into the hospital. So that's usually how it works. Well, in most ambulance relationships, we trade between the two jobs. I will drive one call, he drives the other one, right? No, I'm the FNG. I'm attending every fucking patient that day. Again, that's cool. I'm down with that. Again, I'm the FNG, right? That shit happens. Hydration break. So, I get the call. We pile into the ambulance, and he's like, "You got your Vicks with you." And as a rookie, they don't quite undersell or oversell, however you want to think about it, the use of Vicks Vapor Rub. Vicks Vapor Rub is used by a lot of emergency service personnel. You put it up under your nose, or you put it around your nose, when you walking into some bad shit. It's about to get down. And this is the stuff that keeps us from puking on dead bodies. This is the stuff that we use. I mean, they're like, the first thing you do when you get your EMT bag and your medic bag is you put Vicks Vapor Rub in that bitch, because you gonna need it. Well, I got some, and he's like, before we roll into the house, before you get out the ambulance, you put that in your nose. And I'm like, wait, she's not dead. Well, I don't understand. He's like, just shut up and do it. I'm like, okay, dude, look, you're writing the evals that go to the captain. Whatever you say, man. All right, cool. I got you. Bet. We're moving on. All right. So, we roll up to the house, and I can't explain to you what this trailer looked like. This trailer looked like a reject from some of the post-tornado scenes out there. Like, the tornado picked the trailer up and yeeted it, and it literally landed perfectly in another person's yard where their driveway must have been. This trailer was falling apart. I mean, it looked like if I farted wrong, it was going to explode into a million pieces and be done with the whole thing. So there was some concerns immediately walking in that my short butt was going to die instantly of something falling on my head, and then, somebody's going to have to call my parents and be like, hey, yo, Dave, your kid died. You need to come collect the body because he went to this person's house and the trailer fell on him. But get over it, and we walk up. Now, meth and nasty have a smell. And I have smelled things in my life. No big secret, I'm from the Bayou. You smell shit on the Bayou that you can't describe, right? Because, swamp stinks, okay? And this trailer was death. It smelled like death. It smelled like a dead body had been laying in there for years. We not talking about days. We talking years. It was god awful. But I had my Vicks Vapor Rub. It was helping. We get in there and we find this very thin, very just death-looking woman sprawled out, naked from the waist down, and her hoo-ha is out. And it is infected. I can take one look at it and be like, what the actual fuck did you do to yourself? Because it's not a human body part anymore. It is like Tales from the Crypt, nasty. There is just area that is just, oh my god, what did you do? And I've seen some weird things do to things to people's bodies. You know, I've seen diabetics with their foot infected, and to the point where, you know, I touched it and it just flew infection everywhere. It was terrible. And come to find out, she had been injecting shit around her area there. So her vagina was extremely infected. So what we decide to do in this case is we're going to pack and run. I mean, screw normal patient care. You conscious, you breathing, because you bitching at us the whole time we there. So obviously, we know that you're alive, you're breathing. I don't need to do patient checkup at this point. We're cutting, we're running. She's like, I don't need no damn stretcher. I'll be fine. I'm like, good, because I didn't want your ass on my stretcher anyway, because you nasty, okay? So she waddles her way over to the ambulance. I help her get into the ambulance, and she's, you know, laying in the stretcher, and oh my god, I can't explain to you how bad this was. It was terrible, because now we're in an enclosed ambulance with this stank ass bitch and her crusty ass infected vagina. And I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna die. It's just terrible. Can we light the ambulance on fire at this point? Nothing is gonna get this shitty ass stank out. And we now have to go to the emergency room. Now remember, I said that I was on the west side of the county, which means we talking about a 20-minute ambulance ride at non-emergency traffic to the hospital, which is on the other side of the county. You know, one of those glorified ass Band-Aid stations. So I'm about to die. And the attending is like, well, you know, what do we do? And I'm like, well, first of all, it's freezing. Do not turn the heat on. I don't care if I freeze to death. I would rather do that than freaking die of stank-ass bitch smell. And it's dead winter. And I'm like, look, I'm going to open up the top of the ambulance to see, you know, I know it's going to be cold, dude, but we just got to deal with it. No, This smell is like, you think I'm going to leave because you opened up the top of the ambulance? You a fucking idiot, man. No, I ain't going nowhere. Screw you, Dave. I'm sticking around. And I'm like, I can't deal with this. What am I going to do? He's like, open the door in the back, man. I'm like, but we can't do that. We got safety protocols. Look, the captain hears of this shit. I'm going to get my ass fired. He's like, dude, I can't deal with this shit either. Look, we'll make this work, okay? Open the back door. We're going to be taking county roads. It's going to be okay. We got her strapped in. Let's just go. Book this shit. So that's exactly what we had to do. What we had to do was we rode with one of the doors open. The other one was pretty secured. And we called a police officer, friend of ours that was working in the area, to ride with us to the hospital so he could stay behind us to make sure we were okay. And they, the cops in that area, they were pretty cool. And they knew what we were going through. They were like, oh shit, we got you. No problem, fam. We got you. So, we make it to the hospital, and we take stanky ass into the hospital after an almost 30-minute drive that usually would have took about 15 minutes. But no, we were driving slower because we didn't want her to be bounced out the back of the ambulance, which would have been an improvement in my mood at that point. But, life sucks and you just got to deal with it. But needless to say, stank-ass bitch gets to the hospital. We drop her off. We do the encode to the hospital. Basically, I'm telling, that we have an infection in that area and all of that, and we're wheeling her into the hospital. The charge nurse takes one look at us, takes one look at the situation, and reminds us, bed means available. Don't leave her ass here. I don't want to smell that shit. And so we take her to wherever they're going to do their little bullshit procedure at, and I don't know, save stanky ass bitch's vagina for her brother later on. But needless to say, we have a new problem. The ambulance now smells like stanky ass bitch. So we're like, we can't take this ambulance out of service. We're a small county. We can't be taking this thing out. We've already got one of them already in the damn garage being fixed. We ain't got no spare ambulance. We poor. So I'm sort of like, well, damn. Well, what the fuck do we do with this thing? And the doctor comes up behind us and is like, you need a Lysol bomb. And I'm looking at him and I'm like, what the fuck is a Lysol bomb? He's like, dude, I got you. So he goes to the janitor closet, where they keep the extra supplies. And he comes back with an industrial hospital grade nuclear bomb. It's got warning labels on it, do not put near you, do not put near flame, do not put near your testicles because they'll rot off. I mean, there's more warning labels to this damn shit than there is actual product information at this point. So needless to say, he's like, this is what I want you to do. I want you to take it, pry the top and then take this hospital tape this shit down so it keeps spraying, throw it in the ambulance, and close the door, and go get you a cup of coffee or something. And I'm questioning this because obviously he's done this before. Obviously, there is some kind of unwritten protocol that somebody did not explain to me when I was in EMT school, that throwing a Lysol bomb would fix most problems. But then again, I'm desperate. I cannot drive another 20 minutes over to the side, then potentially ride all the way back in all these ambulance trips with stanky ass bitches smell up into my darn shit. So no, we're not going to do this. We're going to go with the Lysol bomb. We're going to go with option B. And that is exactly what we end up doing. I take it, I put it down, it starts spraying. Luckily, I was smart enough to, face away from me. I yeet it in the ambulance, shut the doors, like I'm locking in a snake that's getting ready to bite my ass. And then I run away. And I'm waiting for the ambulance to explode at this point. And I'm just like, the ambulance is not exploded. Okay, cool. So, we wait a couple of minutes. We we're like, oh, and then we're like, okay, we got to let this shit air out a little bit, because, you know, nothing is worse than the smell of concentrated Lysol. So I'm just like, okay, we open up the doors, and this mist comes out the ambulance, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. The can is emptied. We're good to go. We let the ambulance air out for another couple of minutes, you know, because we got to get back on the road. Our side of the county is only got one other ambulance, and they get somebody from the nursing home in the middle of the night to count taters, and it's bad, okay? So, needless to say, we get back in the ambulance and everything is okay. I mean, the smell is dissipated. You can still smell it, but hey, I got to clean the ambulance when we get back to the base anyway. So, needless to say, it's okay. So that's how I learned the importance of a Lysol bomb, dealing with stanky ass bitch and her Brosband and all of this other shit. So I know the video's a little long this time, you know, shit happens, but it takes a lot of startup to start these things. So we'll have more with Tanya and her weird ass Brosband and that relationship coming up in a later episode, when we actually start taking calls from the other side of the universe. I also want to wish a very happy telecommunicator week to all my friends out there that still 911 dispatch for a living. You are 911. You are why emergency services exist. You are the first responders, and my family, I miss you a lot. Trust me on that. But my heart and my soul go out to you, and everything that you do, you are greatly appreciated. And if you know someone that is a 911 telecommunicator, we'll talk about that, but at a later time. But I just want to say thank you so much for what you do. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe. It's going to be also on my Twitch channel, Bayou_Boy. Join us if you do that. We're going to get back into streaming very soon with the friends of ours. And thank you very much for all that you do for us. And have a great week. And thank you for enjoying the Tales of the Bayou. Bye-bye now.